Yeah.
Just have to find. I have to find leaders who are willing to do more than, or I just find leaders, I guess.
I've actually kind of been curious about how that's going to play out. Trying to stop the player-owned towns from looking empty and um, almost falling apart before the game is populated. I'm hoping it populates really quick.
Very focused and thankful.
Yeah, I don't think Paxlair
Thank you
will.
everyone for coming
Oh,
today.
the
We don't want to populate it up.
sermon started. I'm going to turn up the
Okay.
sound on this.
All right.
Thank you for the focus
Yeah, me too.
and the ability to once again share what I have been blessed with knowing and learning so that I might come before you all and share. And thank you, Port Phoenix, for allowing me to borrow Kazan Phoenix Fire today so that he may also share what he has come to learn. Alright, so let's get to it. Today we will be tackling yet another one of the monsters that dwell within us all. Today we will be tackling Deceit. Seems each week the monster just gets bigger and bigger. I thought last week was hard when we discussed lust, especially with the special guest we had in the audience. This week has been even harder. How do I speak on something I do not believe in? How do I come before you in all rights to be standing up here and tell you it is okay to be deceitful, when in truth doing so would be a lie itself? I struggled with this. Many people heard my dilemma all week. They heard the struggle I had to fight to get over this. I do not believe in lying for any reason, and so I struggled this one harder than any. So I started looking up this word deceit. First place I looked to find the meaning was the dictionary. The dictionary describes deceiving as
those of you who might be watching this for the first time,
things that are not true.
These streams are being broadcast on avatarsradio.com,
Deception can involve
being spoken in-game by Amber Rain.
Distraction, camouflage, or concealment. There's also self-deception, as in not following what is in your heart, leading to feelings of betrayal and distrust between otherwise rational people. Distraction. Well, that is something I can talk about, right? That is something I know far too well. What is the difference between distraction and deceit, though? To me, distraction in no way seemed to be anywhere near deceit. Yet, as it turns out, it is indeed very similar and does not only lead to the other, one can be replaced by the other in context. I was deceived by him could in turn be I was distracted by him. I went back to my trusty book, the Parma, to read further on this, and now I believe we're actually being told do not get distracted. Do not worry about this. Realize this, in the last days, difficult times will come, for men will be lovers of self, lovers of money, boastful, arrogant, revilers, disobedient of parents, ungrateful with what they are given, unloving, irreconcilable, malicious, gossipers, without self-control, brutal, haters of good, treacherous, reckless, conceited, lovers of pleasure, holding to a form of godliness although they have denied its power. Avoid such men as these. Wow, that's a long list of stuff. There has to be a reason we're being told do not follow these people.
Sound
Get
muted.
away from them,
Microphone
and
muted.
At the same time, do not be distracted by what they're doing. I believe as this land grows and more join us, there are going to be people that are going to be attacking us, persecuting us. Perhaps you're already witnessing it as I have in certain areas. I was going to avoid these areas, but chose not to allow them to distract me from where I wish to be, nor from what I was set out to do. Perhaps you've seen this, or they are doing it to you. Maybe you yourself are distracting and deceiving yourself. You need to stop and think about this. Be ready. I have to confess, I've been having a really hard time of this past week, trying to figure out how I could skip around this, and I have to admit, I couldn't. Who today is in the building that has been in indecision about something and you need to make a decision? It's okay if you do not wish to admit it. You know who you are, and you are more than likely struggling with the same thing I am. What if I'm wrong, Amber? What if I make the wrong decision? If you make the wrong decision, don't stress and worry about it. You will know soon enough stressing and worrying is not gonna fix it. Sometimes you do not know if you're right or wrong until you step out and try something. Cross out of that safety net and just go for it. Society, certain groups of society particularly, are too concerned about wrong. The Parma says, if anyone is lacking in wisdom, let him search deeply within, liberally and ungrudgingly, without reproaching or fault-finding. The answer will be given. Only it must be sincere searching with no wavering, hesitating, nor doubting. For one who wavers, hesitates, or has doubts is like the billowing surge out of sea that is blown hither and thither and tossed by the wind. Remember that you will not find a true ready answer if you even for a moment second think yourself or the choice you first decide to do. As a man of two minds is unstable and unreliable and uncertain about everything he thinks, feels, and decides. So what does this really tell us? If we're not focused and have our whole heart on something, then nothing can be done. It will just endlessly weigh in the balance. How many of you out there actually see that? If you're not focused, have our whole heart on what it is we want to do, then nothing will get done. Make a decision, stop thinking with your head, and give your heart to what it is you're doing. I said this last week. We need to stop thinking with our heads and start using our hearts. There are a lot of distractions out there, and you have to understand one of the goals of deceit is to distract you and keep you from doing what it is you should be doing. If you can't focus on your heart instead of that which is trying to get into your head, you cannot grow. You also need to focus on the right thing. Do not focus on what you think you've done wrong. Focus on what you're doing right. Why waste today focusing on what may have happened yesterday? If you do that, it will steal your energy to do something right today. So today you will do more wrong things since you cannot focus, and then tomorrow you will focus on the wrong things you did today, and the pattern just continues. Your days are wasted. You cannot grow. Follow your heart and make a choice. Yes, you may feel in your heart some kind of remorse for what you did, but do not mourn or dwell on it. Do not waste today thinking about yesterday. Focus on doing what is right today, at the moment. Do not think about what happened before. I used to spend so much of my time focusing on what I did wrong. I talk too much, I do this, I do not do that. They say I'm wrong for this, I should have said that. I'm hard to get along with, I'm selfish, I'm self-centered. I could just go on all day long just thinking about everything I did wrong. I decided I have no time to mess with that stuff now. I get up every day and I focus on what is in my heart. I focus in every situation. I know I do a lot of things that give me the funniest looks from people because I get excitable and exaggerate. Yet, at the end of the day, I've grown and moved ahead. What's done is done. If it comes up again in the next morning, I let it go, and I focus again on what's in my heart today at this very moment. I believe some are wasting way too much time focusing on what you think you have done wrong, using your mind, and it is stealing your energy to do what is right in your heart. What say you? You can be distracted from making a choice by your own mistakes, when what you should do is stop worrying about it and just go on. You cannot do anything about what you have done, but you could improve today if you focus. Don't be distracted and focus on the wrong things. Don't just talk about all the problems in the world. Find something fun and passionate to talk about. I get so tired of bad news. I had given up the forums for a week and had no idea about all the bad things that were going on. Now maybe some of you think I should be more informed with that, and in fact some have pointed certain threads out thinking I should know about it. Yet I feel in my heart if there were anything I should be terribly mindful of, somebody's gonna tell me. I don't want to listen or read that stuff. Bad, bad, nag, whine, wah. I don't want to focus on everything that is wrong. Now that does not mean I'm going to stick my head in the sand and not deal with issues. But I do not want to set my mind and focus on everything that is wrong. I spent so much of my life talking about bad things were happening and wasted so much of my potential on the negatives instead of the positives. I decided, as I suggest others try, do not focus on what you lost in life, focus on what you got left. Don't say to yourself or others, well, I didn't get this and they did. I do this and that, but they get that and this. I didn't get a chance to spend time with that person or whatever. You know what? I had a lot of bad things happen to me too. I do not have to convince anyone the bad things that have happened to me, or still do. I did not have a good start to things, but be hell and high water if I do not have a good finish. Maybe you did not have a good start. Maybe you're not even having such a great time now. But you know what? You can change your ways, change your attitude, choose to look at things with your heart and not your mind. And you can get focused on the future. You can let go of what lies behind and you can press into things that are ahead. How about the cares and anxieties that come along that will try and distract you? A seed of growth and power can fall upon a person, yet if distracted by cares and anxieties of the world, that seed cannot bear fruit in your life. You're going along, things are going great for you, you're finally getting things working the way you want them to, and then 2 or 3 problems arise. Before you know it, you're not thinking about anything else but your problems. You're not talking about anything but your problems. Before you know it, you got yourself so upset, now you've lost your peace. You've lost your joy. You murmur and complain about everything. What others are getting, what you're not getting and feeling, deserving. Has anybody here figured out that the variety of things that we can get upset about is truly endless? Has anybody actually figured that out? I mean, there's truly no end to the things we can get upset about. So if the world around us is not going to change, we have to change. I spent years being upset, and I finally got to the point that I thought, you know what? If I cannot have peace, there's no point in even staying here on the planet. What is life worth if we just get up every day and we're miserable? We can have peace. Let me turn once again to the Parma. Now, here we read, "My peace I leave with you. Do not let your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." Stop allowing ourselves to be agitated and disturbed. Choose to not become fearful or intimidated and cowardly and unsettled. Wow. Oh wait, you mean I cannot just ask for peace and have it fall on me? I am actually going to have to choose it? You do not have to get upset and distracted. Today, if you hear something someone says that could be stretching the truth, deceitful or distracting, you do not have to get upset. It isn't going to stop these words from being spread. You do not need to get upset. You know, I realize that humans sometimes are a little bit unruly. I figured that one out. You know, I have even recently had people giving me some flack when my own words were being spoken. I was so tempted to come back to them with words of flaming and return the words that they spoke to me. I chose not to. I chose to not let them take my freedoms and distract me from my purpose. You do not need to get upset. You can if you choose to, but you don't have to. I'm not trying to bring anything bad on anyone, but what if after this we head on to the welcome quest and the world comes slamming down around us, and it can't happen? You do not need to get upset about that. You can if you want to. It isn't going to change the situation. I practice peace now. I follow with my heart and not my mind. I think it is one of the best ways to defeat what threatens our freedom. Threatens what we are aiming to do or say or act. Trying to take our choices away from us so we might follow the direction they are leading toward. I sit back kind of feeling the happiness in my heart and thinking it probably is just driving everyone nuts, that they're trying everything they can to distract me, and I just choose to say, nope, been there, done that, not gonna happen, gonna follow my heart and stay my course on the path I'm on. What has had you upset recently? Now look back. How dumb was it? I remember some of the arguments I used to have over the stupidest things. It would constantly go back and forth. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I let it keep me up sometimes far into the early hours of the morning, knowing full well I had a major event in the morning, just so I could get to the end of this silly argument and see who would be proven right. Dumb stuff. I was with a group of guys and I was trying to give them directions on exactly how to get to Ravensend from Kingsport. Let me start by saying I already knew there was no point in trying to give men directions. That is like totally useless. Ladies, they do not want our help. They may ask for it, they really do not want it. Nor will they stop and ask anybody else for help. They would rather stop and stay lost for hours instead of ask for directions. We have to stop getting upset about things that are useless. Choose to not let it waste your time anymore. These things are trying to distract you so that you start using your mind instead of your heart. Distracted so you cannot focus on your purpose. Distracted so you cannot focus on doing what you choose to do. If we choose to not let ourselves be deceived and distracted, if we choose to focus and use our hearts with positives, this is how we stay strong and fresh. Powerful. Now, of course, we could find things to worry about. Trust me, I know everyone in this room can find at least one thing to worry themselves sick about. We can even find at least one thing to get extremely mad about if we wanted to. But do you really want to? I know I do not. I've already wasted too much of my life doing that. I am not wasting my time doing that anymore. I'm going to bless myself and choose freedom and do what makes me happy. I feel so wonderful from this decision that I could just feel like jumping up and down. I'm asking you all tonight to stop wasting your time trying to do something about something you can't do anything about. Every day we have been given is a gift, and no matter what is going on, no matter how many deceptive decisions there are, we need to find a way and choose to be happy and enjoy that day. Think about it. If you waste a day being angry and letting others guide and tell you what to do or how to react, you are not ever going to get that day back. You waste a day worrying about being judged. You waste a day worrying about the words others have said, no matter how boastful, vain, or egotistical it is. You will never get that day back. But if you choose to be free, you choose to not let others guide your direction and focus on your choices and focus on being happy, now that is a day you are invested in and you can bring with you throughout all eternity. Worry is useless. Stay focused. Don't do things that are useless. Idle talk is useless. Seriously, idle talk is a doorway to distraction. What is idle talk? It is when you are sitting around talking about stuff that does not have one bit of power in it at all. Gossip and murmuring and whining. He got this and I got that. Wah, wah, wah. Anger about things you cannot control is useless. Trying to change something you cannot change is useless. Expecting people to be perfect is absolutely useless. Expecting people to never hurt you or disappoint you is useless. Expecting me to act normal in certain situations is completely useless. That is nothing against myself. I'm happy with me and lead with my heart. Yet it is true I am extremely overexcitable, and it is how I choose to be. Trying to change that? It's useless. The other thing that has been known to distract us is the deceit of riches. Now, most like money and we all like things. No point in lying about it and saying we don't. We do. There's not a thing wrong with money and things. However, although money is not a problem and things are not a problem, the love of these things and feeling you deserve more than others because of it is a problem. It is very important we do not focus on trying to make others feel small or letting others make us feel small because of money. Focus instead on leading with your heart and knowing you will receive the things you need and will have all you can handle. Think about it. The more things you get, the more you lose your focus. You are now allowing yourself to be distracted and deceived by things. Because everything you own is now something you have to take care of. Every trinket you bring in is something you have to dust. See how good this is? Don't worry about others having or needing or wanting stuff. Let them deal with the burden of more things to distract